Let's escape the gray and let the colors rain. Turn the shit we do and our words into pure reality. 'Cause you and me are meant to be what they don't see. Never feeling wrong 'cause we don't belong. And getting high in love, we're invincible. Trust in me, we're invincible. Don't you see, we're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible. We're invincible.
We gon' burn it down. Burn it down. We gon' burn it down. Burn it down. I killed it, it's murder. I killed it, it's murder.
On my own, but I don't know why. You hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back. 'Cause I won't look back. I won't look back. 'Cause I won't look back. On my own, I don't know why.
Hello. Still a quick volume check. Hello. Still a quick volume check. Okay, that's a little loud, so I'll just put that down like that. G'day and welcome. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here. We are doing Azure Functions, building our IT self-service portal. So where have we left it? We basically completed the entire automation process of the durable function. So just sorry, I'm literally just kind of playing catch up for a second. I'm not feeling the best this morning, so where are we at? Runbook. So yes, okay, cool. We've completed the invoke request orchestration. So the dual function's completed now, and it's basically shoveling off all to the different areas. So I've made a couple of amendments this morning, which is I've gotten rid of the environmental variables, and now I've actually replaced them with actual configuration manager items. So we're going to be testing that this morning, make sure that's working. We're also going to be testing some other little bits and pieces, making sure the entire end-to-end process works within Logic Apps. So we're going to need to set up a bit of an ngrok connection, do all that kind of jazz, and then hopefully we can have an actual workable solution. Once we have a workable solution, we can then start focusing on our HTTP front end. So, alrighty, so let's get stuck into it. So first things first, we actually need to do some testing with this. So I'm going to turn off. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm going to turn off for the time being token validation, because I'm just thinking out loud how I'm going to do this. Yeah, we're going to turn it off for the time being, because what we need to do is I don't particularly want to test that yet, but what I want to test is what's responsible. Okay, sorry, I'm actually commenting out the wrong content. I need to comment it down here. Yes, okay, I need to comment out this. Okay, so that's basically disabled. That's disabled our Teams integration. Oh, sorry, Teams integration. I'm not feeling well this morning. Sorry. That's disabled our token auth. So what we need to do now is we need to basically start focusing on just basically testing our actual app, our local settings.json, so our actual configuration items. So the easiest way for us to do this, since our first item that we're validating, I'm just looking at what we have here. The easiest way to do this actually would be if we go back to, I'm just going to grab some code and just chuck it in here. Let's do this. And then what we can do is drop it here and then just make sure that that's actually working. Once we know that that's working, I'm happy with it. We can then proceed to just doing another dry run, getting that working, making sure everything's good with that. And then we basically do a complete end-to-end run. We're going to need to make sure it works by, I need to plug in configuration data, proper configuration data. So I'm actually going to need to fix up my configuration within the server. So if we got our configurations here, this is just static. I won't say static, but it doesn't reference anything. So I'm actually going to tweak it so that it will reference an automation runbook, so we can actually test the full end-to-end process. And you can see us do that, so that'll be pretty cool. I really like this approach because essentially this is the configuration that applies to, actually let's zoom that in. This is the configuration that applies to the automation. So you write, rather than actually writing a full automation suite, you just write your configuration item. So for example, if it's I've got authentication and file server. That's a really bad analogy. Oh, hello kitty cat. So it would be something like you know, create new team or something along those lines. Oh, my cat's decided to stay for a pat. You definitely are a pat kind of cat. So what we can do here is sorry. Oh. Okay, so what we can do here is let's go ahead and drop a breakpoint here while I am patting my cat. This is just yeah, she's really needy in the morning, which that's with her time for pats. So alrighty, so let's just go ahead and start that. while we're doing that, I need to start up another. I need to start my Azure Function app up. I'm gonna do that. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna open up my code scratch pad. I've got this code scratch pad, which basically allows me to interact with the REST function. So let's go ahead and trigger that. Oh, cats now in the way. Meow. Hello. You have to come. You have to go away. It's so cute though. Alrighty. Right, let's. So what we can do here. Just run the selection. Bring that into memory. No, I don't want an update right now. Alright, so that's done. Next thing we need to do is actually go ahead and trigger our function. So we need to trigger that, so let's go ahead and do that by triggering just HTTP start here. So I've got this one, we can just start. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're in our debugger. Let's see what we actually get back here. Ooh, 139. It's null. Okay. Fun. Okay. I think it's because it needs. It's trying to read from an app settings. It's supposed to be keys are in there. There's no keys at all. There's no keys in that at all. How am I going to read them all in? I'm just trying to think of what the best way to read them all in is. Because essentially I kind of need them to be in there. Okay, so what we're going to need to do. I'm just going to jump on MSDN. That's not going to work, Michael. Paste that. Okay, this is weird. Okay. There's no keys for it, so how do you use configuration app manager settings? Configuration connection strings. Oh, dude. No. Yes, that's correct. It's an actual property. You just need to get. That's what I thought. Why is it not? You should use skip. Okay, well, why is it? I think it's because it's not referencing the local settings. Read local settings.json. Yep, that's what I thought. It's a new recommended way. That's what I just set up and that doesn't work. So you're telling me I should be using get environmental variable. I thought it was the other way around. that's a bit of a pain because I've just pretty much moved them all. I'm just trying to think how I can kind of backtrack over those changes without breaking everything, which is going to be a pain because I pretty much just removed all the static coding. Okay, what I might do is I keep a backup on OneDrive because I can't get Kraken doesn't support private repos, so I'm kind of just oops, I'm just using Git Kraken for the moment. Let me jump on my summit. Just trying to think what I changed. The only thing was that, so that means alright, so what I'm going to do, I am going to grab, I'm going to revert, I'm going to keep my app settings because I still want those. Actually, no, I'm actually going to figure out how to get this stupid thing to read on a local settings.json file because it's not working. It doesn't work. He's saying that it should work. Alright, well then let's test it. Okay, let's test this. And let's just go local settings.json, and let's just grab that. Is it environment? Yeah, get environment to variable. Oh, it's just get rid of F9. Let's set a breakpoint there. No, we can't put a breakpoint there. Whoops. Let's put a breakpoint in here. Let's go stop. Let's start it again. So one of the things I'm going to need to do as well is I need to go into, you can see it's already trying to deserialize it, and that's because we have that existing function in there. So let's show the UI, let's clear out all our jobs. And that'll clear out all the actual durable jobs in the background. So we can restart this and not have any issues. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and back into here and let's give this another go. Now, let's see, It's null. Oops, sorry, it's null. It's null. So that means that doesn't work. I was able to read settings using above line code. I wonder if it's because of its path. But I'm intrigued to see actually what's in there. Is it still there? Okay. I can't actually get the return the configuration list. Remove that from us. Alright, well then I am going to guess. If they're saying it works, it will most likely be because it's nested. Let's give this a go. Oops, I'm gonna need to clear our jobs. What can we do here? Hopefully that's hit it before it's loaded the configuration, or it's gonna throw a big fat error. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. It's null. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. What version of functions are we running? Could be the version of functions and we just need to update that. Not that one. We are running version 3.3. Ooh, I think this might break it. This might break it. I'm just going to take a quick backup because this might break it. I still have the original code, but I'm just kind of thinking about. I want to see this fixed so that we don't have to deal with it in the future. So let's go into solution. Quick copy. Let's make a quick copy of it, just in case it breaks. Skip that. Alright, cool, let's go ahead and patch this. It either works or it doesn't. Hopefully it does. Looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. Sweet. Alright, so what we can do now is let's go and trigger it again and see if that fixes it. Because I think it's either going to be that or yeah. And selection. Let's see if that fixes it. No, doesn't fix it. Interesting. So we are running the latest version. What updates do we need? I know that there's a version update for durable tasks, but I'm environmental variables. This new. I'm gonna actually try this. This was supposed to be house music, and it's definitely not. Reference the package directory or select a different version. What? Okay, I'm just gonna rebuild it. Meow. Hello, cat. Okay. Let's try this. No. Great. Okay. It could be. Oh, I don't think it might be related to the Azure task. I know I don't want to upgrade that yet. That's a separate job. Detected package downgrade, Microsoft extensions 3.1.2. When was 3.11.1 released? When was 3.1? Okay, it was literally 15 days ago, so it's definitely not going to be that. What fixes did they implement? This cat is definitely... Come on, cat. Out you go. Down. Down. Come on. Don't whinge. Good girl. Alright, so... Nope, yep. Gonna chill out down there. Okay. I don't think it's going to be that issue then. So we have an environmental variable. Doesn't work. Just doesn't work. So now I'm going to figure out why. Alright, I'm just going to change this. NCS top 50. Hopefully we have better luck with that. Just gonna chuck that in there and see if it's actually looking for a hard-coded item. Restart just in case that job was sitting there. Okay, that's the reason why. Because it's looking under the actual it's looking after under here. So oops. Did I break something? What did it throw? Actually, I'm just gonna rerun that. Missing value for Azure Web Job Storage and local settings.json. I literally changed nothing. Unless it doesn't like them. So is it? It's doing something. It's fine. It's a good start. Excellent start. It is literally hung. Alright, let's try it. It's just... I'm gonna give it a rebuild. Clean and rebuild. Okay. I think that's working now. Oh, lessons learned, lessons learned. Okay, cool. Alright, so once we've done that, let's just go ahead and we are now going to do... Okay, so everything needs to be changed with environmental variables again. Okay, so that means... Just trying to think where I need to go. Where's initialize? First one is initialize. Okay, let's get... Okay, it's not initialize. It will be... No, not automation runbook job. I need to start... Okay, cool. Alright, what I'm going to do is just going to open up Notepad and do the old find a Rui tie solution. Alright, so step one, let's grab him, replace him with old mate. Remove system.configuration. Clean these guys up. Oh, sorry. Once we've done that, we can so we'll just go ahead and replace all these. Once we've done that, we should be good to do a full basic end-to-end test. And with that, then we can transition into an actual proper test. We know that the runbook's going to fail. That's going to be the case, but we just need to make sure that it at least tries and triggers. And once we've done that, then I can rewrite the configuration so that it then points to an actual live runbook, and then we should be good to go. Alright, I think that's it. Let's try. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to basically hit that. So let's go ahead and do that. Sorry, I'm just looking through. Let's go ahead and run that. Okay, that's in. Let's go ahead and trigger it. Okay, we need to stop. I need to remove that and clear this. Let's restart. Okay, so I'm not really interested in that. I'm going to be interested in down here. Alright, so you can see we've got our response. That's a good start. Now we should see it's running a whole bunch of gets. So it's just got the configuration. Is it going to pull anything else, or is it throwing a big old error? Is this hosting 771? Yeah. Just sitting there. It's taking its sweet ass time. Don't know why it's taking its sweet ass time. Unless, I have to actually hit continue because it's some weird debug issue. Okay, so now it's triggered a token prompt, so we need to jump into private window, portal.office.com. It's going to log in. Just grab that. Jump into Teams. I should have had this open, but oh well. Oh, it's not going to trigger back because I've got to set up my ngrok. It's doomed to fail. Okay, cool. There's our self-service request. Submit that. And it's going to fail out because we don't have ngrok running. So let's go ahead and I'm just thinking we can actually just leave this. $707.4. I'm just thinking out loud here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to restart this because I need to actually put the ngrok URL in. Okay, so what we need to do back here is let's go ahead and create a new session. Ooh, what port was that running on? 7074. Sorry. Sorry. I just thought I looked at this and I was like, is the PowerShell functions running on 7074? And I was like, no. It's fine. We're good. All right. So what we need to do So I'm just trying to think out loud. I'm thinking out loud. And I need to go to here, local settings, and we need to grab, we need to paste it in there. So what we need to do here is then go, so I'm just looking at it, and I need AU. Oh, there it is, this region. Yeah, like so. That'll start me my ngrok session. I can then copy that. And then we can paste that in my configuration. I'm just going to pop that in here. What, did it copy? I think it did. Unless it is literally, I got so lucky I got the same host name. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and restart this. We need it because basically it appends the ngrok URL on the actual the team's card. So I need that URL so we can call back. Alright, so we've got that running. So I can re-trigger this. And if we go back to our functions here, so I've got stuff all over the shop. Integration console, no, we want task hoster. Okay, it's fetched the configuration. It's doing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, cool. So we should have a notification sometimes here. Hopefully. Where is it? Where is it? What's the last one I ran? Test configuration. Well, it's doing something. That's definite, it's doing something. But I shouldn't have actually called back because that's not possible. So, did I run it? I think I didn't. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, so, yep. Okay, so it's triggering. Unless my you know what's not working? Again, this comes down to me being me. Somebody turned the logic app off because he thought he didn't need it, and because he turned the logic app off, it can't actually post. So I have to actually clear all my jobs out. I actually have to stop and restart the function app and clear all my jobs out. So this is why you don't make changes without documenting them first. Right, so we restarted our app. What do we got? Host error, object set to an instance of an object. Okay, let's kill that. Just gonna restart that. Do a clean and rebuild. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and trigger it. And this time we're going to actually get a Teams notification because I actually enabled the function app. So let's go ahead, a logic app, sorry. So we've re-triggered that, which is in turn is triggering old mate, which in turn should give us an approve or deny, provided it hasn't changed the bloody URL. Yeah, so it is triggered. Up there it is. So there's my my flow. Hey, I'm gonna approve it. Yep, it's requested to a random item. Sure, go ahead. So let's go submit. So now it should trigger the remainder of it. Executed invoke request. Unless it's, is it doing anything? No, it still hasn't hit it. Has my ngrok triggered? Let's check our ngrok. Did that trigger? No, it didn't. Oh, joys. So I've got a localhost. Bad gateway. Approval response. So it's not working there, so we need to fix that. So I'm like, this should just work, but anyway, I've done something wrong here, and I'm kind of localhost 7074. What's it? Yeah, that should be fine. It's definitely not triggering it. Let's have a look at. It's obviously hit it. Why has it not forwarded it? Oh, let's have a look. 502 bad gateway. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger it locally. No, I'm not. I have to work out why it's not working. It's definitely a configuration issue. So let's just jump back into Visual Studio. I'm not doing something here. I'm just gonna have a look at this web interface. Bad gateway. Why is it a bad gateway? Why did you say to me it's a bad gateway? Why did you say it's a bad gateway? Failed to establish a connection to old mate. Really? Yeah, fair enough. That actually should work. I should be able to just hit it and it should say your function app's operating normally. Unless I'm going to restart this and give it another go. It's probably because I might have controlled C and stopped it. Okay, is my function app running? Yes, function app is up and running. Alright, fantastic. Okay, let's go try and re-trigger it. So we should get a comment or a card here. Whenever it decides to prompt, there we go. I'm just going to put a number for each of the ones that I've actioned. See what it does now. Well, it hasn't hit a debug. It's awaited. And what's ngrok doing? I think it's just had a fit. 2 minutes ago, it hasn't even submitted it back. Okay, we need to have a look at what's going on there. Let's have a look at the logic app. Just logging into my Azure tenant. Okay, so what we can do. Oh, okay, something's definitely failed. Okay, it's failed. The function app is actually failed out itself. The string h1 is not a valid timestamp value. Okay, so the reason why it's not working properly is because the function app's not properly working. Again, this is because I made changes to it. So what I'm going to do, I made that. We can get rid of that. And that should fix it. So let's drag that back down. Let's, ngrok's fine. Everything's fine actually. I'm just thinking out loud now. I want to make one change to the configuration, which we can actually make on the fly, which is pretty cool. So if I go to my configuration, I'm just going to remove, so I don't smash my logic apps when I have to come and clean it up, and I'm not spending ages cleaning it up. So we can now re-trigger this. Now we should get our whole, where is it? Is it running? Whoa! What do we got here? What do we have here? No connection could be made because the machine activated. Well, I think I can't make on the fly changes to my function app. Let's go ahead and restart this then. And let's go ahead and re-trigger it. Oh, yep, we have to hit go on that. Alright, let's wait. I should get a prompt. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. Okay, so let's put a 3 in there. And we should get a response back. Yep, there we go. Bang. Done. It's just kicked off the runbook. Perfect. Okay, we know the runbook's not going to work because we haven't actually configured it to run. Oh, sorry, I'm really tired. Actually, I'm not really that tired. I'm just a bit zoned out at the moment because I'm on some anti-migraine drugs. So I think that's a good end-to-end initial test, and now I actually need to run the full. We need to test the runbook. So if we head back over to our function app, our local one, you can see there it failed. Yeah, that's fine. It couldn't actually get the runbook, so runbook was not found. So we can actually fix that up now. So let's go ahead and stop this. Another thing I need to do is actually start my domain controller on my hybrid runbook worker. Just wait for my domain controller to start and then we can start my hybrid runbook worker. Give a few seconds. Man, I really love SSDs. It's like my favorite thing now because like to start a domain controller literally takes seconds, and like to build in this environment like took about an hour. That was using the longest thing that took to build was Exchange. And that was using Automation Lab, so definitely recommend you checking it out. If you want to basically build a lab environment, check out Automation Lab. Let me see what it is. It's like one of my it's probably one of my all-time favorite modules now because of its just sheer ease of use. Yeah, definitely recommend checking it out because it's so easy to use. Like it takes a little bit to get your head around, but then once you get your head around it, it's really easy. Like, see if I can show an example because I just want to show you. This is actually like it's one of my favorite things. And let me just open up. I've just got to check to make sure I'm not got anything that I don't want to show. Templates, code. No, where is it? Summit. Configurations. Is it this one? No, that's not that. Testing. I'm trying to find my configuration. Oh, where did I put it? I actually know where I put it. In the presentation, demos, labs. On-prem lab. Here we go. So essentially, what we do here is, unlike obviously this is a lab environment. You can. That's just me. I've got some comments code there to clean it up. Essentially, you create a definition of your lab. So I'm just pointing it to my P drive, and then basically I describe my. I've just got some parameter values set up here, so I can describe my switching, memory, things like that. And then basically I build my domain controller. I'm not actually building the domain controller right here. I'm actually adding the definition. So I'm just saying here's a configuration, then go build it. So then I'm basically adding my member servers, my Exchange server, and then I actually tell it to go and install the lab. And then after that, I actually pass it some software packages, and then I tell it to go and install Exchange on my Exchange server. And I do that by basically saying when I add a Exchange 01, I add the parameter here post installer, and then I just give it the post installation activity role, which is just 2016 Exchange organization name Cat Corp, and that's it. And so if I want to just remove this lab, I can just basically completely bin it and then rebuild it. So it's really cool. Highly recommend checking it out. Also check out the PowerShell conference book. Definitely recommend checking that out as well. So once we've done that, so I'm just thinking where I was at and what I need to do. Yes, we need to update some configurations. So if we go back into here, I'm going to stop. We stopped it. Cool. Alright, so what we can do here is we can now go into our configuration. So which one was I hitting? Sorry, I just want to see what. Type authentication. Okay, so type authentication pertains to the type in here. So the file name doesn't, it's just something nice, but essentially you have a unique type for each configuration, and then basically that's how it associates it. So what I can actually do here is provide the runbook, update the runbook name. So if we go back into what was that? Automation tasks up here, and then we can just go runbooks. And then here we've just got test runbook. So I can then basically pass that like so. And then it's expecting the following parameters. It's literally got nothing in it. It's got test param and test param 2. So we can just go like this. So when we now re-trigger it, it'll actually go and trigger this runbook, which is really cool. So let's give this a go. So now we've started our helper function. We can go ahead and restart. Actually, we don't even need to restart it, to be honest. We don't need to restart it because it's not actually talking to it. We can actually just go ahead and trigger it. So what we can do here, not that one, this one. Let's go ahead and rerun it. Well, not that. That's my function app. Derp. I need to rerun this. Let's go ahead and run this. So now that's triggered. We can go back to our function app. Oh, sorry, our flow. Our teams, and we should see it pop up and say, "Hey, oh, hang on, I need to hit continue." We should see it pop up here. Come on. There we go. Let's put a 4 here. It's going to send a webhook back. So that's triggered it, sent it back. Fantastic. It's returned true. And now we should see it run a job, which it's not. So something's not right here. From runbook, so everything's ready. Cool, let's have a look what's not working. So if we go back to integrated console, why did it fail? I'm ignoring the first part because it's irrelevant. The runbook was not found. Test file server runbook. Test file server? What did I send? I thought I sent authentication. There's a problem there that we need to fix. What did we send? What did we send? What did we send? Authentication. Well, there's a problem. So it's trying to run the wrong one. And somehow it's matched it to that. How the hell did it match it to that? That's so odd. Actually, no, it's just triggered again. Unless it's... it could have been because it's the old configuration. Hang on, let me restart it. I don't need to restart this. I need to restart this. Validation failed. Just clear out all the jobs. Let's go restart it. I'm just thinking about yeah, the validation should have failed if it's failed. So it should now be fine. Unless I need to restart the app, but that's... Actually, no, I wouldn't need to restart the app because it's cached it. So it's cached the configuration and the configuration has changed. So that would make sense. So essentially, rather than actually having to poll to get the configuration every time, it only polls it once. And then it stores it in memory for the rest of them. And then it can use that configuration as it's just cached it. But the problem with caching it is that obviously I've updated the configuration on my helper functions, but then the parent function hasn't actually been able to actually get that updated configuration. So that actually would cause issues. So you actually have to restart the function app to recache the configuration. So what I need to do here is retrigger it, see what happens. See what happens. Come on. I think it's not waiting on that. Error. Oh. Automation task. Object not set to a instance of an object. Really? Interesting. Just want to see if it happens again. Error attempted to deserialize the object. Automation. Okay, so something's not right there. So we need to have a look at that. And I just changed the configuration, which means that there's a lot more work that needs to be done in this, but that's okay. Where did it fail on? Error code attempting to serialize the object. Let's go ahead and drop a breakpoint on that. So it's got the response body. Username, random item. Okay. So I'm just thinking, why is it doing this? Did it specify the type? Identity, type, authentication. Yep, okay, so it did specify the type. Okay, it's probably fouling it out here. What's my configuration then? It's probably failing out here. What do we got? HTTP content. What's it looking at? HTML objects. And then it's looking at type. It's looking at HTTP content. And it's looking at type. So that's file server. And the other one should be authentication. Yep. So, and it's looking for type authentication. So that should work. And then it's basically single default. So it's looking at the parameters. The reason why it's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing, it's going to fail out because it doesn't validate. It's not going to validate correctly, and the reason why is because I actually haven't specified the correct body here. It's actually doing, I'm like, there's a bug with the code. Actually, no, it's not. It's actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's validating your body, and it's unable to match the body parameter, the HTTP response body parameter to the actual configuration. They don't match because I've updated the configuration. Okay. So what we can do here, so what we can do here is retrigger like so. So if we rerun this, this should work. Just going to disable all breakpoints. I was going to disable, I'm just going to delete them because I'm pretty sure it's going to work. If we go there, and then we head over down here, yep, okay, we got a new one. What was it, 613? Yep, that's the right time, so we just put a 5 there. So, oops, that's not a 5, that's a percentage, and that's a G. So if we send it back, we should get a response. Then we can hit this, starts the runbook. Yep, okay, that's done, and it's happy. So now, it's failed. Okay, why has it failed? Why did it fail? Actually, no, that should have started it. That should have started my runbook. I don't see any sort of thing to say that it didn't start it. Unless it's an... I'm just going to do a quick hide runbook while it's run. That should have started it. So that's the one that I've just triggered there. What I'm going to do now is stop this function app. And I'm going to go... Have a look at here. Alright, what I'm going to do here, I think I need to add some extra code here. So what I'm going to do, this is countering on the fact that it doesn't exist. It's going to replace it anyway. This will replace it as a hash table. That's fine. Let's restart this. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to trigger this separately for the time being, just to make sure that it's working as what I expect it to be. Alright, so the way we can do that is I have a third. I have no idea. Oh yeah, we don't need that. No, we don't need that. Where is it? Runbook test, here we go. So I can re-trigger this and see what happens. Okay, so it's triggered it, it's queued it there. Okay, so that means that it's working. So what we can do now is we can re-trigger the main one. So if we head back to here and run our selection. Come on, card me, give me a card. Wait, do I have to debug? No. Why's it failing? Oh, I'm just gonna restart this. Okay, should we get a card? Yep, there's our card. Let's just put a 6 there. Okay, so that's triggered that. We should get a response, so it's completed. Let's go have a look at our function app. No, I think I fixed that issue. So there's no more outstanding errors. Test configurations, function start runbook. There's no real errors. We should see another one. Look at that. Perfect. There you go. That's a winning. So that's now triggered our runbook. It's run on our hybrid runbook worker. And we should see some weird inputs. So if I input here, no parameters were provided. Okay, so that didn't provide runbook parameters. So that's something we need to check now to figure out what's going on there. Because it didn't supply any parameters. So what I'm going to do is have a look at because it's probably not adding the runbook parameters in here. So I'm going to put a wait debug here, and we are just going to hang back and see what this does here, because I have a sneaky suspicion that this part of the code's not running for some reason. And it's obviously not appending those parameters into it. So now what we can do is re-trigger it. Go to flow. Do I need to hit anything on anything? It's sent the job. Okay, there's no errors there. I should probably... No. Why is it not running? It hasn't started yet. Let's just retry that. Unless it's got smart and it's decided it's changing its port. No, it's Simpson 4. Why is it hanging? It's just hung. Okay. Just restart it. Whoops. Hello, kitty cat. You come back for another pat. You can play with the pen if you want. There you go. Alright, so once we've done that, we can re-trigger this. You like a good pat, don't you? Alright, that's working. That's super weird. Alright, let's continue. It will now pause on this. Once we get our approval. Here we go. Let's approve that. Put a 7 there. And I just have to patch you. I can't do anything else but patch you. Isn't that right, Cleo, eh? Okay, so now we're in here. Let's have a look at what we got in our start runbook. Okay, so it's... actually, no, it's fine. I'm going to just put my keyboard over here because the cat's taking up space. Let's have a look at start runbook. Start runbook. Meow. I'm just going to do this. Okay, so you can see it's passed them in, so that's fine. So it's nothing to do with the durable function. It's going to be to do with the it's going to be to do with the actual this code here for some reason. What type is it? It's hash table. Also helps fucking spell, but anyway, just hash lowercase t. I can fix that. So the next thing we need to do, yeah, you can continue, that's fine. So the next thing is, selection, so that's there. What type of properties is it? Okay, that's why, because it's a type hash table. Let me just see what the type is. If I can... Oh gosh, this is the problem when you get the really, really long line. I'm just gonna... Okay, so we need to write some extra logic around that, but that's fine. So what we can do there is let's go ahead and stop our code. This might crash. Meow. Meow. You want to be you want to be patted or something. You probably want to go outside. You know you're not an outdoor cat, Cleo. You're just too fragile. So we can just do this. And then we can just drop that like so. I'm just going to add some comments in here. Now, it's kind of funny because when you're calling, if I'm calling from PowerShell, it'll actually pass it as a custom PS custom object. But if I'm calling it from Visual Studio, it passes it, it'll actually deserialize those things. So I actually don't need this. It's really weird. I don't know why it's doing it. I'd expect this is only needed for debugging purposes, but it's just important to have those. So let's just go re-trigger this. Do I have a wait debugger on that? No, I don't. Perfect. Okay, we've done that. Do we still have this running? I'm just gonna stop that and then clear out all our jobs. Okay, so now once we've done that, we can now go ahead and trigger our re-trigger our code. So let's go and do that. So now we've done that. Let's trigger that, that's fine. Okay, we've got our approval. Let's just put an 8 there. Once I see this, I'm just going to step away for 5 minutes. I'm just going to have a quick 5-minute break. I can hear Bubs. I'm just woken up, so I need to go and say g'day. That's done. Now it should have triggered our runbook. So yep, there we go, 629, and we should have parameters. Yep, perfect. All right, we're going to leave it there for 5 minutes. I'm just going to take a quick break. I'm going to get Bub up, and we will be back in 5 minutes. So I'll see you then.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance, not the life I want to live. I want to take it all, standing tall. Fear I weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating.
Alrighty, I'm back. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I just changed Bub and it was pretty bad. So it took a little longer than expected. But anyway, so you can see here we've got our full trigger, so end-to-end lifecycle process, which is working perfectly fine. So it's a good outcome. So we got the job. Oh, so we have request, approval, action. So once we've done that, we can just go ahead and continue this. So it should be able to work asynchronously now, so I should be able to just do this. So I'll make sure it can process multiple at the same time. It should be able to just make them work. So you can see we've got a few here now. Let's go ahead and test this. Let's put a 9, submit that, approve 10, submit that, approve 11, submit that, 12. Submit that, and now if we head back to our hybrid runbook worker, did I close it? I did too. Just quickly go to it. Okay, so if we just go there. And you can see here, oh, has it triggered them all? Continue, continue. Just gonna just remove that. we should be able to see. There we go. There they're queuing up. Sweet. Nice outcome. It's a very good outcome. I'm happy with that. That's a really good outcome. Cool. Alright, so we have... I'm actually just going to turn this music down a little bit. So we have that outcome completed now. Oh, there was chat just disappeared behind my window. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is start refactoring code. So I want to do a bit of a code actually, I have tokens disabled at the moment. Yeah, I'm going to keep them disabled because I can test that. Like that's going to require a little bit more effort to sort out. So what we can do is let's go down here and test. Just looking at all the bits and pieces. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to refactor it later. I think to be honest, let's get to some actually more exciting stuff. Let's actually write the portal. So I've got the I don't need this at the moment, so I'm going to stop this now. I can shut down this app. I'm going to turn off ngrok. So what we can actually do now, let's open up this bad boy. So now we basically can start working on the client portal. My goal is today is to be able to actually have it. Again, I don't care about the token right now. What I care about is actually building the portal, and then I can integrate that. Like the code is there, it's pretty much running, and it will only take a couple of lines to add the bearer token to the actual request. But right now the focus will be on the actual portal. And getting the actual, getting the components running. So we can go ahead and shut that down. Let me close that and clear all the jobs. So it's done. Okay, so we can keep. Okay, we're cleaning up. I'm just doing a bit of a cleanup now. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and strand the portal. So I'm literally kind of trying to get this sorted. Azure function initialize. This is the first thing we need to do is initialize. Pull configuration, set it. Then we've got data response text. What the hell's data? So it's going to call that method. PIM config function endpoint. Azure function initialize. What is going on here? Why did I do this? Auth callback. So when I put the callback in, if it's an error, fantastic. If it's a response times access token. Calls that method. Okay, so Just going to write some comments in here. Calls the Azure function. Calls the Azure function initialize. To pull the components. Oh no, to pull the configuration. To build out the HTML elements. So it's done that. I'm just Alright, so what we can do so we're going JSON.pass, so it's passing okay, so it's calling the invoke REST method, APIM config function endpoint. Where's my function endpoint? It's that. Just get configuration, that's fine. With the access token, the function method, and then the callback, which is missing the body. Stringify the body if it's added. Okay, that's perfectly fine. And then it will call and then it passes the callback method JSON.pass response text. Okay, so then this we can just call this callback rather than calling it that, because I think it's just a little confusing. So it'll call that, pass the JSON response, which is now the configuration. So all we need to do is set the configuration. Which will then pass the response back, set the configuration, and then we need to call the builder. And so the builder I think it's in a separate, oh, it's render, sorry. It will then take the configuration and then basically build HTML elements that it needs to actually get it. So what we can do here so my goal is today is at least have something put to the screen. It doesn't need to submit, but as long as we can have something, that will be the goal. I'll be very, very happy, because it means then I've pretty much finished 80% of the solution, and then obviously submitting is 90%, and then the refactor, making it all look nice, would be 100%, and then I can actually record my demos and be done. Oh, that would be fantastic. Anyway, so what we need to do here is call the actual render call render. So essentially what we do here just pass that configuration straight into it, so it doesn't actually have the permissions to pull, which is fine. So it'll only render on a token refresh, that's perfectly applicable. Iterate through each of the tiles. So we've got a tile placeholder. So if we look at our code here, we've got, oops, no. So it'll get documented by element.id, which we have this div with an ID of tile placeholder. Iterates through each of the tiles. And then it will call where's remove tile? I'm actually going to call remove tile just in case some sort of now we can iterate through each of the tiles. So we can just say new tile. Oh, we need to actually go okay. We can just go for I don't know what I was thinking now, I'm just saying configuration HTTP content. Because that needs to come down in here. So like so. Okay, I need to have a look at the class. So what we're sending to them is what we're sending to the JavaScript is essentially, if we look at HTML configuration, it's our HTML object, and it'll be a list. So I'm just looking at what's this. Config results, serialize config, yep. So if we go have a look at, have a look at the definition. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do here is iterate through each of the configuration. Oh, HTTP. I call them configuration items because that's really what that is. I'm just going to call it configuration items. So we've done that, and then we can basically say HTTP content configuration item, HTTP content, which is this, and then we can basically say we need to generate, which we have, tile content. Tile ID, and tile index. So what we need to do, and then I can just call new tile. Just having a quick squeeze. Just gonna say error, and then we can just log the error out so we know what it is. Console.log. There was a problem rendering the configuration item like so. And then we can actually call new tile. We can just pass all this through like so. And that means then we should be good. I just need to then work out what I need to put there, and then that will be it. We can then start testing. I think there's going to be still a lot of bugs, but as long as we can see it work, that will be fantastic. We can just put a breakpoint of a semicolon there. What's it whinging about? Inspection. Oh yeah, that's fine. It's because of this. Okay, so we need to now work out the tile content. What's tile content? Okay. So that's tile content. Pass it all made in. Actually, I can just pass it in like that. Don't need to do any sort of shenanigans there. Tile ID. What's tile ID? What do we make tile ID to be? Okay, I'm just looking at how it's rendering it, and then how is it going to read it. So if I do that. Okay, so what I could probably put for the ID here is for any each configuration item. Where's VS? Here it is. Let's go have a look at this. We can go HTTP content. We can give it the type. So we can say content. Tile ID, tile index. What's tile index? I'm guessing it's the index of the tile. Is it actually even used? It is. Submit request, tile index. So submit request. Just tile index value. Okay, so we can just use the type, and then we can just pass that in, so that's fine. So let's specify the type. So we can go configuration.http content.type. Oh, this is a tile though. This is a tile. So if we're in configuration items, I'm just having a bit of a thing. So we have multiple configuration items, and then we'll have multiple tiles within the configuration item. So in fact, it needs to be a nested for, which is not a fan, but so if we go back, what's it? I think it's HTTP content. Yeah, it's HTTP content. No, it's HTML configs. Like so. Right through each of the configuration items. No, sorry. So yes, HTML configure. I really should call this something else. I don't like HTML configs. I'll have to clean that up. I think it should just. I think that's badly named. But we can clean that up later. So I just want to get this working. So the next thing we need to then do is just basically pop that in there like so, get rid of that. So what we've got here is we have configuration item HTTP content, configuration item HTML content type, tile index. We need tile index and tile ID. I'm just thinking about this though, because when it renders, it's passing submit request tile index. And what this does is it takes tile index. Okay. I'd actually no, Michael. So I don't actually need this. I can actually get rid of that because it's actually doing that for me. So all I need to do is pass the configuration item into it, and it looks like it's okay. Now it remembers. Now I remember it's actually going through and it's creating them dynamically. And then the submit request button pertains to the tile, which is basically the configuration item. Okay, so this now makes sense. So I can go tile ID. It's just the type. And I can go configuration, item, on the tile index we can just use I would like to use a number, but is there a way to get an index of in JavaScript? JavaScript. Good old W3 schools. Gotta love them. So index of, does that pertain to transposition of the first occurrence of a specified value in a string? What about a list or an array? What's it for an array? Array.findIndex. Let's have a look at findIndex. W3 schools. Okay, so I can just say find index and then pass this item in. So I can go configuration items, start find index, and then go configuration item like so. Did I call it time? I called it time. Lol. It's tile. So I've done that. So how's my chat gone? Oh, there it is. So I've done that. So the next thing we'll need to do is test it. I'm just thinking as I've sorted everything out. Got the content passed in, the tile content, the tile ID, which is just type. I should just call it type, to be honest. I was gonna call it type. Do you even need it then? Because if it's passing it, can you just... Yep, I'm just gonna do that. We'll just leave it for the time being. Alright, so, cool part. Let's test it. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So first thing I need to do is jump back to app.js. It's going to fail because when we can't really acquire a token and initialize. So I'm going to need to manually call this. I'm just going to put this. I'm just going to put a quick code block in here. Mocked items. I can kind of just mock it in. Not the best idea, but you know, it is what it is. We don't need a token, so I'm just going to pass in test function endpoint. Let's make sure they all exist. Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So we now need to have a function app starter to get the configuration. Oh, excuse me. So we don't actually need to have the full function app running. So I don't need this running. I just need to have the function app. It's the actual PowerShell function app running, the helper. And we can kind of bypass some bits and pieces. So let's go solution, Azure Functions, PS helper. Okay, so if we go ahead and run that, just drop my Sharpies, my fidget spinning Sharpies. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's started. Cool. Alright, so let's go and browse to this. So we can probably go ahead and close all this. We don't need it. Alright. So what we can do here, so let's go and reveal an Explorer. So I don't really care about this, so we can just go ahead and close that. Inspect our elements. Go to our console, auth error, cancel the console. Yep, that's fine. First things first, does it actually... It's calling out .js from there. Okay, so first thing we need to do is fix up this. It's commenting out, and I always forget what the comment out. That's it. I'm hoping that it can call this. I should be able to. Just go ahead and I need to get the on-screen keyboard going. Oh, that's OneNote. I don't want OneNote. On screen. So just go ahead and refresh this. Okay, so it's loaded render, but it hasn't loaded app. Missing property after ID 270.21. Property ID. Just gonna have a look at where it is. What's wrong with that? Why is it that not having a good time? I should push, and then why is that having an issue? Missing semicolon. Is it semicolon? Hang on, I need to quickly go and have a look. It's semicolon, that's why. That fixes that. So, just go ahead and refresh this. Oh god. I really don't want to have to deal with this. But okay, so they're both in. I want to see where it's invoking the request. shit, I just closed it down. Damn it. Let's just go ahead and reopen it. Yep, that's fine. Select element, console, debugger. Can I zoom this in? I can zoom the HTML content, but I can't actually zoom in the background, which is kind of weird. Okay, yep, that's in place. Okay, cool. Alright, so is it whinging about it? No. Okay, cool. Let's go and have a look. Step in. Make sure there's no sort of, what's our URL? Let's get configuration. Test, get. Body is undefined. That's fine. And that should have a big old course. Oh my gosh. I want to fucking hack it in the browser. Because I just want to test it locally. Oh, this is really annoying. If I could turn it off, it'd be great. Let me see if I can turn it off. See if there's a way to do it in the browser. There's a Firefox extensions that adds core headers to any HTTP response working on the latest. What's that? 36.01. What am I at? 73. Okay. I'm just gonna. What's it called? What's it called? Is there a way I can like append it in here? It doesn't look like it. Okay, that's fine. Cores everywhere. Okay, so what do I do now? No, I don't want automatic updates. Don't want to run in. I do want to run in private windows. Or private browsing. Okay, no, don't allow that. Am I in private at the moment? No, I'm not. How do I add my headers? Okay, run in private. This feature allow cross-domain, very friendly interface. Okay, how do we load your interface? Where is it? Can't find it. Maybe it says it was. Bookmarks, Firefox account. No idea. Okay, so if that's the case, I'm just going to go back to add-ons and remove this one. allow. Okay, I'll just add this then. Alright, so if it's adding that, then it should be just a matter of running it. It should just work. Alright, I think I'm going to restart this. And where is it? Again, I don't know where the hell it is. Where the hell is it? I'm just going to have a look at this homepage. Has a toolbar pop up. I customize the toolbar. I don't see it. I don't think that works. I don't want to have to run an IE because I know IE just has issues with rendering. Not rendering. It has issues with the JavaScript engine. It's like it's got some weird JavaScript engine. Why the F is it doing that? Alright, I'm just going to bin that one and we'll try another one. Is it proxying? Yes, I understand why it exists. Yes. Yes. Okay, let's see if we can actually get this one to work. I think it's because... Actually, no, I'm not sure, to be honest. How hard is it to install a browser add-on nowadays? This is just a little frustrating. Trying to actually do this is a little off to back to the marketplace to find another cause. Yeah, see, it adds a custom toolbar item, but it doesn't get added. Relevance recently updated. I could use ngrok to reappend the thing, but I'm just like, that's a lot of work. Coronavirus remover. Wow, that's hilarious. Somebody really doesn't like getting all this stuff. I'm like, I just feel like you can just not read any news articles and you won't hear about it. Anyway, yeah, this is the one I was using. Two months ago, January 5th, 2020. Yep. Why the hell is it not working? So add it to the tab, but it's not there. Oh, to the menu bar. Oh, hang on, why is it in here? So it's supposed to be added there and it's not. Yes, it's not the bookmarks toolbar, is it? Oh, we'll just give it another go. Is this in private? It could be in private. Is it in private? It could be in private, that's why. I've just been fucking around for this whole time. Just close that. Make sure Firefox is closed on all things. Yep, I don't see any Firefox. Okay, let's restart it. It's still not there. Like, where the hell is it? This is really annoying. All I want to do is just remove it so I can actually test my function app without having to upload into the cloud. How bloody hard is that? And I don't particularly want to have to run a proxy or any sort of local IIS instance. But I'm feeling like I'm going to have to do this because it doesn't work. If you guys can recommend one, that'd be awesome. You're kidding. Oh my god. It's because my browser's configured to run in private all the time. It just doesn't. Okay. Alright. We fixed it. Okay, so next thing, we need to actually go back to our code. Copy revealing Explorer. Yeah, it's on star, so it should be fine. No, I don't want a screenshot. No, 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 no. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Cool. Alright, inspect element. That's what I want. Console. Okay, let's add a course there. What the? Because I clicked it. Oh my god. Copy object. Actually, no, that should be fine. Forcibly refresh. Let's just refresh again. And we should have a REST response. Why we need to test that is, where's render? So it hasn't loaded render in yet. So how's it going to call it? Well, we'll find out. Okay, it needs to load in prior to the actual main HTTP method. Like so. Let's refresh. Alright, now we're talking with gas. So what we need to do here is put a breakpoint here. I should be blocking it. Let's try that. Okay. Where is the headers? Where's the headers? I can't see the headers. Where can I see the headers? I keep forgetting. Outline. No. Console. No. Where's my headers? Where's my headers? I like. Unless it's. Wonder if it is applying a header, because it probably isn't. running local JavaScript. Get HTTP headers. No, I can't do it in that because I have let's quickly just going to disable this. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Because it's a local file, it can't actually create the headers. It's just easier to run an alt local IIS instance. Control panel. So we're going to need to install IIS. Management console, sports management local, yeah, that's fine. www, go on HTTP. Static, default directory browsing, yep, go ahead and install it. And then I can actually just remove it, and then I can remove this add-on and then get my Firefox back to the way it should be. Please don't ask for a restart. Okay, let's go IIS. We got default app pool. We don't really care about the app pool. I'm just going to create a website. Let me just disable this. Stop you. We'll go non-git code solution client HTML portal. Fine. Yep, that's fine. Go ahead and steal it. Can I post some headers here? Add some headers. I need to quickly figure out what the best way to do that is. Oops. Add headers. HTTP. Add headers. IIS. Custom headers. Server manager, yep. Control panel, yep. HTTP response headers. Do I have a? Should have seen that. HTTP response headers. Okay, cool. We can add some headers. So we can actually add a cause header now. Calls override header. Where is it? Where is it? Then what we can do is we can just give it those two URLs and be done. Actually the one, but anyway, so what we can do there is say localhost get configuration. Localhost. What's the permissions? What's the permissions? I know there's a user that's trying to use actually no, it's trying to do a directory listing. We don't need to worry about that. What we can do is just go page. This should work. Payda. What? That should be working. Okay. I need to make a quick change. I need to update my default page. Where's that? Default document. Add page.html. Let's try this again. I think we finally got it. Okay, so that's... And where's my headers? Okay, so it's set. Now I just need to fix it. I don't want rewrite. I want to actually header. I don't want to have to go to. Yep. What's that doing? HRBW response headers. Alright, I'm just going to go star. And it's just going to be everything. Save, done, reload. Looks like it's a lot more active now. Why? The call's pre-flight response did not succeed. This is so frustrating. It's got the header to override it. Why would you just do it? Is your It's got the header set, so why is it still having a go at me about it? Why is it still having a go at me about it then? Like, this is one of the most frustrating things. Policy, same origin policy just allows reading at the remote resource. Well, it doesn't because I've added it into the header. I have no bloody idea why. It's just a absolute mind bender. I'm gonna get the configuration. That works perfectly fine. It's gonna do an IS reset. But it shouldn't matter because it's, whoops, it's set, like, it's, come on, why is this doing this? Alright, I'm going to my, proxy app. I just want to see what I've done in the, with my other one. Shrink you down like that. Summit, no, it's live streaming. There we go. Storage proxy, what do we have? Request override. Response override. Yeah, so it's responding with... I'm just going to try and see if this fixes it. No, still doesn't fix it. Oh, I actually got to enable it. Let's try that. Let's try and save it this time. No, still doesn't work. Okay, it probably wants a specific header. Like so. So what I'm going to do is just add that directory into... Okay, so it hasn't refreshed. 5. Let's got the updated one. And it's still blocking it. This is just absolutely frustrating because the header is actually not applying, or for some reason it's not applying it. So off to the internet. Collect. Turns out it has nothing to do with cause, it's a problem with security certificate. It shouldn't matter to do that because it's a local host. Is it HTTPS or HTTP? What's it calling? It's not the URL. I'm just gonna refresh this and just see what it's actually the request is. That should be fine. Literally, that should be fine. Why is it? I did not want to have to deal with this morning. Like, this is just shenanigans. The core's pre-flight response didn't succeed. I think that's the reason why. Because it's not permitted access to localhost. That's a fun one, isn't it? How can I get around this? Ngrok will help me. Ngrok will help me. So what we can do is let's run up in that instance of Ngrok. So what we need to do is create a new instance. Have to go internet and back to get around a Firefox bug, which understandable. Okay, so let's go to backpack slash. What's it running as? Just make it 80. No, it's going to need to be 777. What is it running as? 7071? Yep. Alright. Should be able to hit this and get some sort of configuration. Oh, should we do? Okay, and then we can go. Like so. Okay, good. Now we're talking. So what I can do now is update this. Like so. Head back to here. Let's see if this works. It might not work because it's still, yeah, it's still not going to work because I need to adjust the header. We need to force refresh. Just want to check the network header. Yep. I have no bloody idea. I have no idea why that would be. It can contact. What's ngrok saying? Where is it? What's ngrok saying? Get rid of that. Because it's using the options method. That's why. So it's actually not using the get method, it's using the options method. We need to, what do I need to do to fix that? There was a thing I needed to do to fix that. Because it's passing through options and options doesn't exist. That's why it's not working. Because the method doesn't exist. What was the solution to that? It's passing in options, isn't it? Yep. That's why. Okay, so what we need to do is... there's a way you can get around that. What was it? That's what I needed. I need to actually add the allow cross control methods. That's why it's not working. So now it comes back to me. What's it separated by a comma? Yep, comma. I'm just gonna... Then I can actually switch it back, so I can actually turn my ngrok off. Okay, so now what we can do is I can go back to here and change my ngrok configuration. Because it was sending in options, I thought something wasn't right. So I only saw that when you go to ngrok, it'll say that the method type, and then I didn't see the actual custom type down here. So I've updated that. Now I can go ahead and update the page. It should work. Still getting in options. Did I add the header? Yeah, it's get. And post. Then I can switch my, I'm just updating my headers right now, and I can switch my headers to be that, like so. So we should be able to fix this now. Go ahead and run it. No. So I was trying to do a get. Oh, that's on that. Why is it still trying to do an options? You shouldn't need to. What's my header saying? Why is it doing that now? Hang on. I just go have a look at my configuration in my proxy. Accept ranges bytes. Oh, get rid of that. Where's yes, there it is. Yep, that's fine. I'll just put a star there. Allow all methods, accept ranges bytes. Let's go ahead and refresh. Where's my keyboard? There it is. Let's go ahead and refresh. Let's have a look at our headers. Yep, that's fine, that's fine. Let's just see if it plays ball now. Still not playing ball. Okay, why is this? It could be because it's what's it doing in terms of? So it's still trying to do an options. Okay, what's the request? I'm pretty sure it's get. What's the request type? What's the method? Yeah, method's get. So what's the XHTML? Let's have some sort of method. Yep, that's fine. Why is it not working? That should work. I have no idea why it's not working. Ah, this is so frustrating. Go ahead, run it. Try the old, let's see if it's an ngrok thing again. Let me just restart it. But I don't think it is because it's sending an options, it's not sending an actual get. I just want to see if it's not a bug with that. So, what's the configuration? Yep. Oh no, it's not. Let's refresh. I highly doubt this. Ah, it worked. Okay, so it's a Firefox bug. What's that? 17137. What? Okay, let's try that again. So has because it's heading. It's trying to hit a URL there, which is not right. Let's refresh that. Yep, still doesn't work. Why is this? And because the reason why is because it's trying to pass in options. Now there's a way around this. I've done this before. Like I've configured the JavaScript's passing in options when it should be passing a get. That's the issue. Why is it passing in options? Passing options method rather than get. I'm just trying to look for something that seems that, like, I'm not interested in the bits and pieces, but it's the wrong HTTP method, which it shouldn't pass, and options. It's simple as that. It should be passing a get. Cause XHR. Why is it doing this? Access request method is get. Something's not right there. Because I can tell you now, if I change the function app to accept the type options, it'll immediately work. But this kind of, I'm gonna say defeats it. Because it's only going to be doing gets and posts, and I can obviously got different URI endpoints. But it's frustrating because they shouldn't need to. Simple as that. You should just be able to do a get, but it's not. Function method get. So new XHTTP request, callback. Yep, if body is that, open the method. have? We have method string throws a syntax error, throws an invalid access. So it is opening it. Then it's appending the header. I'm just going to comment that out for a sec. Unexpected character at line 1, column 1 of JSON data. Did it actually call it? $152. I think it's past it. Hang on, what's the network say? It's run a get. So it's to do with the actual appending of the header after the set request header. Alright, so we'll fix that again, but I just want to get this sorted. Request state must be opened. So it changes the type to an options if it has a header. Yep. So for some reason, appending the header, to, unless, I'm just going to add header. I'm just going to see what the actual method is, because I'm pretty sure it's that, unless I'm doing something wrong. It's set header request, but I don't think it applies. Adds a header HTTP header request to the. Well, that's interesting. Here we go. Yeah, this is a problem with same origin policy. You're either making a request to a different server, different port, same. Here's what the documentation has to say. Well, I'm not. Additionally, for HTTP request methods, you can use side effects. The server needs to allow the options request and send a response. There you go, that's why. Which it can never do. So for a detailed description, call standard, crossover, it needs to have an allow headed allowed header. Allow control, allow headers. This is why this one here, I need to actually allow headers. Because I didn't do that, it was basically appending an option. Pay dirt. Like that. So if I rerun this now, it'll fail. No, still passing option. Oh, hang on, I'm gonna actually refresh it. No, still not working. Okay, how do we allow the headers? Alright, so allow headers. What is it? Header name, header name. So what's my... Where is it? Network. Where is it? Here it is. I was like clicking all over the place. So it's allowing the headers, but I'm guessing it's not allowing that specific header. So authorization header can't be wildcarded, it needs to be explicitly listed. Look at that. So we need to actually allow authorization. Like so. Let's go ahead and rerun it. This should fix our issues. Sorry, gotta forcibly refresh it. Still doing on options. Well, if we know that's the issue, then we can kind of sidestep it. That's fine. What we can do there is, I'll just comment this out. So we can actually just focus on debugging the rest of this. Alright, so JSON pass, unexpected character. Why did it get up? So let's have a look at what it actually got back. Yep, run that. Here's my response. It got 0 back. It's all there. Alright, we need to fix that. So we can just do that. Okay, so we can then go ahead and try and pass that. Let's go ahead and refresh. Why is it? Is it actually automatically serializing it? I think it's automatically serializing it. It's automatically deserialized. Did it actually deserialize it in the parent? Let's invoke request. Yeah, because it's already deserializing it there, so I don't even need to do anything. So what I can do is just pass data, like so. Alright, so now we just need to go ahead and refresh it. Just turn that off, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. Go ahead, pass that in. Okay, now we're into the actual business end of the script. Alright, this is the big part now. So tile placeholder. So I'm not going to be skipping anything. I'm going to step everything. Step. Move tile as child nodes. No. Step out. HTTP content. Tile. Yep. Okay, something broke there. So let's go ahead and re-render that. Let's have a look at why that broke. So what we can do is go have a look at this. Okay, so I need to make some adjustments there. So we just need to update the index. Okay, so wherever there's a 4, I thought we didn't need this, but apparently we do. So we've got that. I'm just kind of going through, seeing if there's anything else, which I don't think so. Well, if we need the index value, I can just do this. Just save myself the headache. Just kind of going through, cleaning this up. Okay, looks good. Alright, I think we're good. So let's go ahead and restart this. Function F5. Oh, we're breakpointed. We can go ahead and stop that. Restart that. See what we get now. Go ahead and continue. Alright, so this should work. Step in. What do we got? Content? Yep, we got content. Step in, step in. Okay, so I gotta fix that. Oh shoot, shouldn't have done that. Oh well. It's item. So a few bugs, but that's fine. We're here to sort them out. So let's go have a look at that. Let's go step in. That looks good. So we should probably be able to step into that. Tile index looks good. So let's have a look at all this. So we got HTTP content, tile content. Okay, yep. Create me a div, and it's having issues. Why is it having issues? Tile content create element is not a function. Interesting. So it looks like it's not. Yeah, that's correct. So why is it having a fit? Alright, something else we need to sort out. Tile content, a create element is not a function. Let's have a quick look. Document create element dot button. Oops. So it's tile content, get an element by ID, document. Should work. It's not. Okay, let's continue to troubleshoot that. I'm gonna try this for a sec. See what happens. I'm wondering whether it's a scope issue. We need to refresh. Why is it not a function? Unless I shouldn't. Creates a button element. Yep. I think I'm doing this wrong. So I need to create the button with the text. In HTML, document.body.append child. I append it that way. Okay, so essentially, get rid of this. Document.createElement, document.body.append child. I want to append it to the div, so I think I just need to say tile content append child tile like that. Just want to see if this works. If this works, we can then carry on. Let's go ahead and refresh. So let's go ahead and create the div. Okay, there we go. So it's created a div. So if I go and have a look at the inspector, body, top placeholder, there's my authentication. Perfect. And it's got a card and it's got some stuff. Good. Alright, so what we can do now is just let that run out. It's going to fail, but who cares? Yep. And we'll have two divs and that's it. Because it's not a function. Okay, so what we need to do here is go tile append content, tile body, create element. I need to find create element and I need to put a document. Like so. And then we need to fix tile append object. Actually, I need to do this once at a time. Okay, so it creates the tile, append child body. Then it's creating another div, tile action. We append that to that, like so. So I got document set ID, create div. Yep. Okay. So then we have tile body. Just gonna write some notes here so I can. Oops. Body. I'm just gonna put the type here, so the element type. So sorry, the element name, so I know which one I'm adding. So I need to go document. So I can do this. So then we have body. We can do this. Create a form. And that's tile body. So we can then just clean this up a bit. Like so. Okay, so that's done. Now we need to create an element here. So what do I need to do here? Is we need to go, what's So going body owners dot append child. List item like so. Append list item like that. And we can go document dot create element like so. So list item in a HTML owners owners owners. Cool. So then okay, now we've got a form element. So we can go form dot append child form element like so. And then get document. I might as well just do this like that. And now we have to create an option. So that will get appended to form element. So we go append child, append. And then we can go option like so. And go document, create that, create an option. Set the option in, configure the option. Actually, I'm just gonna T. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to get the index item like so. Just clean that up. We can get rid of that. Put the val there. And then we can do that. So now that's cleaned up. Where else is create element? Okay, we've got a few extra items here we need to sort out. So we've got tile action. Looks like tile action's got a fair bit of jazz going on here. So document, create element. Oh, so we go tile action dot append child submit like so. And then we just need to go document here. Just gonna break that down. Actually, I'm gonna do it there. And then we've got submit. So then we can go submit.append child icon. Then go document. And that's fixed that issue. Jeez, that was a big fix. Alright, so let's keep going. Let's go ahead and just step. So let's go ahead and refresh that. Yep. Okay, something's not right there. Why is it not right? Title create element. Okay, let's just give it a full refresh. Let's tile create element. Oh, derp. Okay, I need to fix that. Let's go back to that. Ah, Let's fix that. There we go. Fix. Let's give that a go again. Let's see what happens. So it's fast forward. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. It's gonna drop another breakpoint there. Yep, keep going. Oh, something cracked. There's a problem with the configuration, rendering the configuration item. Okay. We're gonna have a look at that. Let's go have a look at that again. No, the pen child is not an object. What's it have in there? Does it have an ID? Okay. Okay. Let's see what a pen child does. Because tile content is an actual gotten item. So it's actually a an element that's been retrieved. So I have a sneaking suspicion I can't do what I want to do. Okay, so what I'm gonna try something. I'm just gonna get get ID by ID. We're just gonna go tile ID, pen tile, tile body. I have a sticky suspicion that is what we're going to have to do. But I have a sticky suspicion that there's going to be issues with that. So let's continue on and see what happens. Let's go ahead and forcibly refresh. So we can see there we've made that change. Let's see what happens. Get element by ID is null. Really? Let's just refresh that. I think it's probably going to want a string wrapped around it. No, I don't think it will. Why is it doing that? Type error. Document get element ID is null. Interesting. Why is it null? Why is it null? It shouldn't be. It's curly brace. It's because I haven't appended it. That's why. I've created an element to tile content, but tile content hasn't been appended back to the DOM. That's why it can't get it. Okay, so what I need to do here I need to do that. And let's see, let's just give that a refresh and see if that fixes it. It's probably a better way to do it. Just stop this. Okay, so let's just fast forward to the next one, fast forward to the next one. Okay, it's having an issue. Node cannot be inserted at the specified point in the hierarchy. Okay. Where is it? Why is it doing that? Tile content's already appended, so it should be there. Yes, it is there. So then why is it can't fetch it? I don't know. I think actually that's not the case. title body's undefined. Alright, well, I'm going to leave it there for today. I think that's still plenty that we've done today. We've obviously gotten the bits and pieces working. So I think, yeah, we're going to definitely, I think we're going to leave it there for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a very interesting ride. We basically fixed a lot of the issues with Azure Functions. Had a lot of trouble with the HTML portal itself, but we'll get there in the end once we sort out all the cause issues. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So let me just quickly... I'm going to continue to work on this in the meantime in the background, because my wife's probably going to want to come in soon and do some work. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be streaming next Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be HTML portal, so I'll be picking up from where I left off when I do some extra work on it, and hopefully we can have this portal somewhat working by next week. So then we can actually have a login with an actual request being sent, and we can track the entire process through. And once we've done that, I am done. I'm happy. I might make it look a little more prettier than what it is at the moment, and then we can go from there. So if you liked it, definitely let me know. If you didn't like it, also let me know. It's always good. We can hopefully see you guys again. But also make sure you, if you are watching, you haven't bought the PowerShell conference book, I strongly recommend having a looking at it, just at least. It's $60 US. It's a little expensive, but at the same time though, you are getting 600 pages of content, and it is a deep dive into PowerShell. So I'm featured as an author, but as well as that, I think there's a whole bunch of other people. So you've got Joel, you've got Corey Knox, I think even Jeff Higgs done a chapter. There's a few MVPs that have done chapters as well, so it's definitely worth having a look. At the least, you can have a quick preview of what's actually being read. But yeah, anyway guys, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, hopefully see you guys next Tuesday. Anyway, bye for now.